Hey there and welcome. My name is Karen and I live in what I believe to be the most beautiful country in the world, Australia. I have an energy healing business, Karen's Intuitive Healing, and I am passionate about helping people get to a much better place. Firstly, I would like to send out a whole lot of love and healing energy to the people, families, animals and emergency services on the New South Wales east coast of Australia. I do believe there are towns who have never experienced rain and floods quite like they have received in the past week. One big shout out to my hometown, Port Macquarie. Wow, I've heard this town has never experienced floods quite like they've got in the past week. And I want to say one big thank you to the Queensland Fire and Rescue Brigade, who I saw today out at Bellingen while having lunch, who are obviously down here supporting these towns at this time. This reminds us more and more that we are just one. Irrespective of what state, country, religion, or even what colour skin you have, we are just one. Now, just so you know, I haven't literally watched TV in over 5 years. And I do actually live in a bubble. So please, bear with me. And I am so new at this YouTube videoing thing. So what you see is what you get, and there is definitely no editing happening here. So today's video I have titled My Favourite Book, The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. Anyway, let me introduce you to this amazing book, The Biology of Belief. I read it approximately about 7 years ago, and it's all about consciousness, matter, and miracles. But it's simple and easy to read on how the environment affects us. Bruce Lipton, who I happen to have a photo of, is an internationally recognised leader in bridging science and spirit, and he's a leading voice in new biology. A cell biologist by training, he taught cell biology at the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and later performed studies at the Stanford University School of Medicine. He has been a guest speaker on hundreds and hundreds of TV and radio shows, as well as being a keynote presenter for national and international conferences. So, I am just going to literally read you the back of this book. It has been 10 years since the publications of The Biology of Belief, Bruce Lipton's seminal book on the relationship between mind and body that changed the way we think about our lives, our health, and our planet. During that time, researching this field has grown exponentially. Lipton's groundbreaking experiments have now been endorsed by more than a decade of rigorous scientific study. In this greatly expanded edition, Lipton, a former medical professor and research scientist, explores his own experiments and those of another leading edge scientists that have unravelled in ever greater detail how truly connected the mind, body and spirit are. It is now widely recognised that genes and DNA do not control our biology. Instead, they are controlled by signals from outside the cell, including energetic messages emanating from our thoughts. This profoundly hopeful synthesis of the latest and best research in cell biology and quantum physics puts the power to create a healthy, joyous life back in our own hands. When we transform our conscious and subconscious thoughts, we transform our lives, and in the process help humanity evolve to a new level of understanding and peace. At the end of every chapter in this book, it says, "It's the environment, stupid." And I got out of this that Albert Einstein, who was the genius of all time, says we are genetic, but put you in your environment and that all changes. I am fairly convinced that since 2020, people now more than ever get that our environment is no longer the same as it was even just 20 years ago. I would like to explain as briefly and simply as I can how our environment has had an effect on us, and that goes for each and every one of us. Now, this may hit home, but we experience more toxins in one day than our grandparents did in a whole lifetime. We are actually like just a computer, and we continually draw on our software. And I believe our software comes from what we have experienced in the first 7 years of our life. So, generally speaking, what you experienced in your first 7 years will be the number one draw card for what is either working and for what is not working in your life today. They say that for the first 7 years of our life, approximately, we are in a theta brainwave state. And we as humans have to learn behaviors from the influential people that are in our lives. Now, that could be foster parents, it could be our own parents, it could be step parents, it could be the homeless, so just living in the street and whoever the influential people are around them. But I refer to this as our programming, which is that first 7 years. So some examples of good programming are of those first 7 years is building sandcastles, playing with friends, mum and dad reading us books and telling us great stories, fun holidays, camping, and the list goes on. For example, some people are less fortunate and didn't have such great programming. Some examples of these are rape, suicide, abuse, and that can be sexual, physical, or emotional, domestic violence, alcoholics, divorce, etc., etc., etc. So, what does this have to do with anything? Well, you just need to understand a little bit about the power of our subconscious mind. So let me ask you, are you living the dream or living your dream life? If it's yes, great. You don't need to worry about it. But if it is a no, I believe that Bruce Lipton can certainly help by even just reading this book. I am sure that you have heard people refer to the power of the mind is amazing many, many times before. Bruce Lipton, his decades of research and his beliefs in the power of the subconscious mind actually comes down to pure science. So, believe it or not, whatever we experience in the environment that we live in for those first 7 years, we can change it at any time. So, if you want to understand very quickly, like in even 10 minutes, please go to YouTube and search Bruce Lipton. He has so many YouTube videos on there which are only like 10 minutes. I refer people to one that is called Reprogram Your Mind While You Sleep, and it's 10 minutes and 17 seconds. That's all it takes to understand that whole process of the 7 years in our programming. Or go and look at his website, brucelipton.com. You'll find out a lot of information quickly. He also has an online virtual course at the moment, and I am extremely excited to be starting this on the 5th of April, and it's titled Technology Consciousness and Evolution masterclass with world-renowned scientists and best-selling authors Greg Braden and Lynn McTaggart. And I'll have a link below if you want to click on that. We need to start living the life we have always wanted so that we can begin to live a life of true happiness. And that will only begin by understanding the power of the subconscious mind. Please don't forget, we are nothing but energy, and we only get what we put our attention and our focus on. I quickly just checked out the BOM, which is the Bureau of Meteorology for the east coast of Australia, and those areas right now don't have rain on them at this point in time. So, I don't know about you, but let's put our attention on the sunshine now, and we might just happen to get even some sunflowers if we're lucky. Who knows? So, what do? Well, firstly, I believe we are nothing but energy. And secondly, I work with people's energy using frequency and vibration to relieve them of stress, aches, pains, and also assist them to heal their own bodies using various techniques and therapies. It is incorporating all these techniques, Young Living essential oils, and channeling energy through my own hands that extraordinary healing can, and it does take place, and miracles do actually happen. It is these tools, techniques, and tips that literally change your life, as it is the routine of doing these practices day in and day out that will improve your health, vitality, and well-being. But I can't continue to do these videos if nobody gives me any valuable feedback on what you would like to hear next. I know that I only have 50 to 130 views on my first few videos, which isn't many at all, but we all have to start somewhere. Now, please check out my website at karens.com.au and have a look at what I do. I encourage you to give me your feedback, so send me an email or make a comment below so I know what you want to hear from me next. You will find me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube at Karen's Intuitive Healing. If this resonates with you, click on the subscribe button below. I really look forward to connecting with you now and in the future, so please give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, share it to your friends and families, and be sure to click on the subscribe button below now. So, from sunny Australia to wherever you are in the world, I look forward to connecting with you again. Have a great day, and until next time, catch you later.